Hi guys, so in this video we're gonna learn about the ECMA script. Yes, I'm talking about the superpower of JavaScript. Okay, so if you are very excited to learn more about TypeScript, Angular, React and Node as well, so for that you must learn the ECMA script first, which is a kind of very amazing feature in JavaScript. It's the latest JavaScript. Okay, so in order to learn all the things, I have a couple of things aligned which I'm going to cover in this video. So I'll let you know how to install the node first, and then how to run the JS file through node.js and that node command in the CLI. Now what are the new types of variables and the ECMA script, and now what is the spread operators. I'll use those with the arrays and the JSON as well, and the other ways also. So these are the spread operators. Then I'll move to template literals, and then there are arrow functions. So I've already created a video on arrow functions, and then we'll talk about the classes and the object, and then we'll go to the latest feature coming into the ECMA script, which is like GlobalThis, which is again an awesome feature. And there is one more which is like Nullish Coalescing. Yeah, I know it's different, like Nullish Coalescing. So we again having this feature, and my favorite one is the optional chaining. So I'll cover all this thing within this video, and I will say please do try all things along with me. I haven't skipped any step in this video. So without wasting any time, let's just get started. With the ECMA script, now we can install the node. Just to install the node from the node.js or /download, we can install it from here, and we can install for the Windows from the Mac OS or for the Ubuntu or whatever Linux format operating system we have. And after installing this, let's just jump directly into the terminal. And like in the terminal, I've already created in the file explorer that I've already created an ECMA script folder. So in this folder, let me check whether my node is set up or not. So I'm just trying node-v and npm, which is a node package manager -v. So I can see that both the commands are working. That means our node package manager and node is successfully installed in my system. Okay, so now the next part is that how to run a JavaScript file on the node. So which is very simple. Like we can create a JavaScript file, and let's just create a JavaScript file with the Visual Studio Code, which is code.app.js. So this command will open up the Visual Studio Code with this file. Okay, so just press enter. Boom, magic. So this is how we got the file from here, and we can write our codes. So it's showing some issues, that's okay. So let's suppose console.log, and here we can write hello ECMA script by Shubham. Okay, so let's just save this, and now run this like node app.js. Okay, so we can directly run this file through node. Okay, first we code app.js and then we node app.js. So just press enter, and now we can have the console log, whatever we have written into the app.js. So this is the best way of running JavaScript files on the node. So this how we know that how can we run the JavaScript on the node server. So it's a kind of server as well. Okay, so now just have a look that what new things we have into the TypeScript. In the ECMA script. So let's suppose we have an array which is like fruits, and this apple, comma mango, comma banana. Okay, so we have array of 3 and we are just writing for loop, and let's suppose so here if we write var, and here if we write let's suppose index, and instead of array fruits, and like instead of this we can print console.log fruits of I. That sounds good. So let's suppose just print them all. So let's just run the command, and here are some issues like I. Of course there is an issue, we should use index. So let's just save this and run this again, so we can have all the items over here. And let's suppose after this variable, after this loop, if we would like to access the index, what will happen? So here also we can access that index, which is of no use after this loop. So what will we do? Want to free this variable after this loop. So there is a new thing in the JavaScript or ECMA script. We can use let keyword instead of var. So now if we run the code, we'll get an error that this is not accessible. So index is not defined because it's already scoped within this parenthesis, and now it is unrecognized or not defined. Okay, similarly if you create a var, let's suppose true, and create a var direction equals to east. Okay, and then you want to use this like direction. So you declare a variable within a scope, within a condition. Okay, and now if you check this, it will work. That's okay, but this should not be like this is the end of the scope, and we don't want to use this variable outside of the scope. So we can use the let keyword. So now if we gonna use this will say the error direction is not defined. So you can see like we cannot print this, and if we want to print this, then we have to cut this out and use within the scope. So here we can use this. So this how we can use this. Or let's suppose we do in the outer, so the scope will be throughout this file. Okay, and now if we go and compile this, so we can see that we can use this. So this how this keyword works, like the let keyword. So there is again one more keyword which is like const. So as the name said, if you make any variable as a constant, it won't be changed. So if you want to check with this, it will work perfectly. If you want to change the direction here, like direction equals to west. Okay, so it will give an error like assignment to the constant variable. So you can't assign anything to a constant, like you can't assign west to direction, as direction is a constant. Okay, so this is again a good feature of ECMA script. So now we have understand about the var, the let, and the const. So these are the new things in the ECMA script. So let's just move to the now just get started with these spread operators. So which is a new thing in ECMA script. So let's suppose we have an array, let's suppose a, and we have the values 1, 2, 3, and we have another array b equals to a, And if we want to print these two array, so let's just check out the execution. So we have these two array. So if we have written b equals to a, that doesn't mean that we have created another copy of a array. So in my recommendation, this is just a reference copy. So let's suppose if you want to change a of 0 equals to 5. So it will change the b array as well, because this is just a reference. If you won't believe, let me just check this for you. So I've changed the value of array 1, like a array, and it have changed to the b array. So in that case, it doesn't create a copy to a different array. It just provide the reference of a array to the b variable. Okay, so if you want to create a copy, or if you want to create another variable or another array, so what will you do? So what can you do is, like, you can use the spread operator. So that spread operator will let you you can create an array. So this symbol will say the array, and like using spread operators, which is a triple dot, and you can pass the reference of the array, which is a. So that will say, that spread operator will say the rest elements of the a array. So all the elements that belongs to this array will come into this array. So now if you check this, like this is the same array, and if you change the value of a variable or a array, let's suppose like this, and now if you check, it won't change to the b array. So the value of a array is changed, but b array is not, because you have created another copy to the a array. Okay, so you can use this. If you want to append something, like you want to append like 5 before this, and then you want to check this, this can be easily be doable. And if you want to append something in the last, like 6, 8, 9, whatever you want to add, you can do. Okay, so this is doable, easily doable. And let's suppose if you have something like this way, like you have a and b, and you want to create c, which is like var c equals to, and you want to concatenate both the arrays, so like a comma b. So you can do this, and now if you want to print this, you can, like, have a look. So the first array and the second array, now the concatenated one, and if you want to put something in between, that is also can be doable. So you can see like first array, second array, and first array 4, and then second array. So this is the way you can use the spread operators as well. So there is one more trick I use, like if you want to remove the first item of any of the array, like you want to like b, let's suppose clear this all, and you have an array like a equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then print this console.log, like original array. Okay, and then once just print this, and we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and now let's suppose you want to remove the first element. So what can you do is, like, you can write an array, okay, and like nothing comma a equals to a, and then console it out. Okay, so the new one. Okay, and now let's just try this. So you can see this. So the first one is 1 2 3 4 5 and the new one is just 2, which is an issue. Put the spread operator over here and save it, and now just run this. You can see this, like the original is with the 5 value and the new one is without 1. So what we have done is we created an array with the elements and 1 value, and we copied the A array into this. So the first number, which is 1, is copied here, and rest of the elements is copied in this. So we now created an array with the 2 3 4 5. Similarly, if you want to skip 2 values, you can write 2 commas, but you cannot write comma after this spread item, because that spread means rest of the elements. So you can use this and use the same for the JSON object as well. So let's suppose we have created a JSON object like employee equals to employee equals to enter name colon whatever the value is, Shubham Gupta, age let's suppose 29. So this is an employee. Okay, and let's suppose we created another variable. Let's suppose this is employee 1, and another variable employee 1, employee 2 equals to employee 1, and then just console dot log both the employees. Let's check the response. So the employee 1 and employee 2 are the same. And let's suppose if I've changed the name of the employee 2 dot name is now equal to, let's suppose, Rohit. So if I change the name of the employee 2, it changed the name of the employee 1 as well. So this is again this same issue, which is like which is like the reference issue. And to sort this out, we can have like in the spread operators. So how will we use this? How will we can use like triple dot employee 1, and now if we just employee 1. Okay, and now if we check this out, we can see like the employee 1's name is remain same and second one is changed to the Rohit. So this is again the good feature. And now if we want to add things as well, like city colon Jaipur, so we can use that as well. So just try this, and we can see like we have added one more parameter or the item, so which is again a good feature of this. So that's how we should use spread operators. So let's just check with the new things. Let's check with the template literals. So what are the template literals? Like we can use a string like console.log with this backtick. So this backtick parenthesis now working, and we can write like hello and employee 1 colon, and now the name of the employee one. So we can use the dollar sign and then curly braces. So within this space we can write the JavaScript expressions. So I'm not saying that we can write the JavaScript, we can write the JavaScript expressions. So just we can use the employee one. You can see that into the intelligence, like employee one dot name, like name. So we can use this, and let's just try this. So you can see this, hello employee one Shubham Gupta. So here is the name, and if I change this to, so here employee one Rohit, so we can change like employee two. So like just save this and then employee two Rohit. So you can see like this is a template literal, and earlier we have to use these string concatenation with the variables. So now we can use within the string, and we can apply, we can write more things, like we can use the the like arithmetic operations as well. Like if we have the age of employee 2, we can add add some age into this, like change here. So hello employee 2, employee 2, if we reduce your age by 5, then your age will be like dollar parenthesis employee 2 dot age and minus 5. Okay, and now let's just try this. And are we using the backtick? We lost it. We can use it. Now just have a look. So if we reduce by 5, your age will be 24. So it's now the updated one. So this way we can use the template literals and the arithmetic operation, or whatever expression, whatever JavaScript expression we want to write within this, we can use easily. Okay, so let's just try functions. So what are the arrow functions? I've already covered a video on this. You can try on this, like here. And if we want to do something like this, like let's suppose sum. So earlier we use sum equals to function, and then we provide the parameters like num1 comma num2, and then we return num1 plus num2. So this is the conventional way of writing a function, but in ECMA Script we can write into arrow functions. So I'm just going to copy it, and instead of function I just remove it from here, and we can use an arrow here, like equals to and greater than sign. So we can use the arrow function. So this is again the same thing we can write instead of this. So this will perform the same whatever performed by this. So if we use functions like sum and sum by arrow, okay, so we can, whenever I create a function, so I generally make it constant. I know that I won't change this reference again. I've never used like I created a function and change the definition of that function. So I always use const before the function name. So like this way we can use. And in the arrow function, if we have the single statement within the definition, we can remove the parenthesis as well. Okay, so we can add the return statement as well. So we can directly use in this way. So this is also a function. Looks like an expression, but this is a function. This is a function. So you cannot use this function definition within the template literals, within the template of backtick, but you can use such kind of expressions in the template as well. So yeah, this is a better one to use, and there is more way to write this. So like if you want to create a square, like square, then you can write like num equals to num star num. So this is again a function. So as I said that if there is a single statement that returns anything, we need not to add the parenthesis. Similarly, if we have the single parameter in the list, we need not to add these parameters as well. So but for the ease, I always put the parenthesis if there is a single variable also. So like this way we can use the arrow functions. So let's just try the new things, learn about the JavaScript classes. So we can create a class like employee class. Okay, now in what way we create the data members? So we'll use the constructor here, and within the constructor we can pass the members like name, comma, let's suppose designation, let's suppose name and age. Okay, and here we can use like this dot name equals to name, and this dot age equals to age. So these will become the data members of this employee class. And if we can use the methods also, like greet method in console.log, and using the template literal we can like hello and dollar this dot like name. Okay, and now let's just create a object to this class, which can be like let emp1 equals to new employee, and we can pass the name as well like Shubham. And now just try this out, console.log emp1.greet. Mistake, which is like instead of constructor, the spelling is the issue. Now if we save this, and now if we try this, we can actually run the code, and here we can have hello Shubham. So like this way in JavaScript we can create the class, the data members, and the objects as well. Okay, so let's suppose we going to create another class which is like same to employee, and we can create like manager class, which extends the of course employee class, and which can also have this dot just we can override the greet method, and we can write hello manager like in this way. And if we create a manager over here instead of employee, we can create a manager which is like can be Rohit. And if we employee 1 and then employee 2, now just check this out like hello Shubham and hello manager Rohit. So like this way we can create the class, the super class, and which like this is the child class which extend the employee. Okay, so this is about the class and object in JavaScript. And now just learn like GlobalThis. So in the ECMA script we have a GlobalThis now. So So why they have introduced this, like if we using the JavaScript into the browser, so this variable will work, window variable will work, self variable will work, but if you use in the Node.js, then there should be another variable to access this. So instead of the global this, which creates a confusion that whether we are using into the node which runs independently, or we are working on the native JavaScript on the browsers. So they have introduced the global this. Now this is like the very global object which provides from the very root. So this is all about the global this, and let's jump to the new thing, which is Nullish Coalescing. Coalescing. So what is Nullish Coalescing? So let's just think over a couple of moments. Let's suppose we create some object. So let's say let Shubham equals to an object name equals to Shubham Gupta and age equals 29. Okay, so if we want to print the name, okay, so let's suppose Shubham dot name, it will be printed, I think. Yes, it's printed, that's fine. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so let's suppose if you want to access the city of Shubham, then what will you do? Shubham dot city. I know that it is not defined here, but you know basically can access it. And if you save it and run this like this way, so it will show you undefined. So let's suppose if you want to basically give some value to this, so what will you do? In what way? Like Shubham dot city is not exist. This way, like if we don't find Shubham dot city, so here we can use the pipe operator and we can provide like Chapter. Okay, and now if we just try this, it will run Chapter. So this is if the city is not available, we have provided city. And let's suppose if we have given a city which is like empty, okay, and now if we want to do this, it is still giving Jaipur, but we want to give the blank string instead of Jaipur. So what will we do in this case? Similarly, if we want to print the age, like Shubham dot age, and if the age is 0, so sorry, like in this way we can have the general age which is 25. Save this, run this. So which is 25 in Jaipur, which is 0 can be the age and city can be the empty. But this is actually run as a boolean operator, and this bool value, if it is false, then it will run this. If it is true, then it will work. So just to avoid this, we can use the nullish coalescing operator over here like this way. So now this won't ignore the 0 and the empty string now. So if I run this on the node, it won't work. And we can check this out on the Chrome browser right now, like created a Shubham over here, and if we console this, it will print 0, not the 25. And let's suppose if totally if we really don't have this age parameter over here, and now if I change this, like Shubham is not having age, and now if we print the age, it will print the 25. So like this way we can actually use the nullish coalescing operator. And one more thing, like in this, let's suppose if we have profile, okay, and in this we have name as Shubham, and let's suppose age 29, and if we want to access the city, console.log. So we write like Shubham dot profile dot city. So if we type this and copy this out here and we try this, so it will give undefined as we don't have the city. And if we try with the name, it will print the name. Okay, so let's suppose if we want to check whether the profile is exist or not. So earlier we code like in this manner, like Shubham and Shubham dot profile and Shubham dot profile dot name, and then it will print the name. Okay, but now we have one more thing which is very good in ECMA Script. I'm just very impressed with this feature. Now we can directly write like console.log, which is what we call optional chaining, like Shubham. Okay, and let's suppose if Shubham dot profile and if profile dot name. So this is again the cool feature. And now if I print this, it will check till the end. Similarly, if we just created a JSON, let's suppose Rohit equals to quotation enter, and now if we use Rohit here, so it's not having profile and name obviously. So if I enter, it will print undefined instead of giving the error. So these are all the awesome feature of the JavaScript. Will work on the more things soon, and I think that we have covered a lot, and will have to work on more things like async await, like defer resolve, like promises, like a lot of things in the ECMA script, and we'll work on them soon. So hope you like this, and please be stay tuned with this channel. So thank you so much.